Let me at him!
Well, there it is. Hi guys, and welcome to the Patron Q&A for August. And I want to say a big thank you to you all for being patrons. If you're not a patron yet, perhaps you'll consider becoming a patron. You can click on the links there in the video description or somewhere on the video. And if you are a patron, again, big thank you for helping to support the channel. So, we have our Q&A, and there is one question, and that is from Swanson, and he says, did you have many World of Warcraft characters? A lot of high-level ones? Do you have a favorite class you enjoyed playing? What has your WoW experience been like over the years? Cheers. So, I'm kind of wondering whether you asked that question because you want a bloody long video. I'm going to try and be brief, but there's quite a lot to talk about if I was ever to talk about World of Warcraft. So I guess we will begin with the first question is, did you have many World of Warcraft characters? Well, the answer would be yes, I bloody well did. So if we have a look, you can see I've got one realm here that's got basically every single different class on it. So there's 11 characters, all to level 100. And I actually have, ignore that one, that was just a test one where I was leveling up a panda and stuff like that, and it hasn't basically registered that I deleted the characters. And we've got a couple of other characters over here. These are from previous accounts that I actually transferred over as well. And there's so much to potentially explain here, but I guess I would begin from the beginning, which would be my rogue. Was actually a troll rogue to begin with. On, I think it was Blade Fist was the server. That's the very first one. Leveled up Troll Rogue to 60, and then very shortly after that we all decided to go Alliance when the new server Chromagas, I think was the name as well, became available, and we all rushed onto that and began leveling up. I started off with a Paladin and got into like level 8 or 10, which takes, you know, a few hours, especially back then. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, and it was okay, but I was like, nah, let's go back to Rogue. So I had all these other characters I could choose from, and I was trying to get the Paladin up, and I thought, nah, it's got to be Rogue. So I decided to switch to a little gnome Rogue, and I leveled her little, well, her little heart off, if that makes any sense whatsoever, because I was one of the first, I think, to get level 60 on that server. I can't remember if I was the first, but that was back when I think I spent about 50 hours non-stop basically playing, leveling up, grinding, big time. And there was Harry, who was leveling up a Paladin, as well as two Chinese gold farmers. One was called like HGJK, and the other one was DKS, DF, EF, DF. And they were both basically leveling up just as fast as both Harry and I were. And it's quite funny. I think Harry actually got first. I can't remember, to be honest with you, anymore. It was one of us. I don't think the Chinese gold sellers got it. So it was either Harry or myself who got first. But anyway, that rogue became fairly famous, actually. This is back in like 2004, 2005. This is before I think YouTube even existed. So you created videos. I think I uploaded them to some World of Warcraft video site, which probably still exists to this day, which was just specifically for World of Warcraft videos. And that gnome rogue was called No. It was actually a pretty awesome name because it worked. And I made it my thing to say, no, that's not going to happen, because that was one of the emotes. When you type /NO, it says, no, that's not going to happen. And I do actually have some videos to sort of refer back to those old school days. So this was WoW Racer. So my old nickname used to be Racer and stuff like that back in the day. No, that's not going to happen. And it was all about ganking. This is one of my favourite times in World of Warcraft, because all I did is I got level 60 and I ganked the crap out of enemy. Look, this is me taking a piss, basically. That's all my gear. It's all greens and blues. This is in a world where very slowly everyone started to get epics after raiding. I didn't raid. All I did was go log into World of Warcraft and spend all day, pretty much every day, in Orgrimmar. I'll turn the music down a little bit. I spent like all day, every day in Orgrimmar, just absolutely ganking the crap out of everyone. I know you can't really see much at all, but this is just me ganking the shit out of people all the time. This is the bit where I decided to A few times that I did actually decide to raid. With, you know, mates at the time. Was, in Onyxia's lair. And we killed Onyxia, and then very shortly afterwards, I decided to aggro everything because I thought it would be funny. And it was, because what happens is when you aggro all of these whelps, if any of you know about Leroy Jenkins, yeah, it gets real laggy in a moment. All of these whelps start attacking all of my mates that have just killed the boss, as you can see. They're heading that way. Bear in mind that the graphics, and this is what I was dealing with, I had a very bad computer at the time. And everyone's just basically getting slaughtered by this. I've always been a troll. Always been a troll. And then this goes back to me ganking. Just non-stop. This is inside Orgrimmar. Yeah. There's a lot of it. It's just like, this is all cut footage. Oh yeah, this is one other time where I was raiding with another bunch of people. These weren't mates of mine really, this was just a guild. And I decided to troll them all because I got the Baron Geddon debuff on me, as you're about to see. And I decided to not run away from them all and see how many I could bring down. And that got me kicked out of the guild, as you'll probably see in a moment. Although, I think that happened just before that. You can't see in the yellow text, but down there it says you have been removed from the guild and stuff like that. So yeah, look at the wipe, look at the health it has. You could say I was a bit of a cunt, really. I kind of was. But yeah, the Gnome Rogue was one of the highlights. I was the only person on the server, Alliance side, to get the PvP tabard. And this is back before Battlegrounds and all that. This is when you had to basically kill all the time and stuff like that. And you would get experience. And if you had the highest, or you were the best on the server, then you got that tabard. And Denarge, a mage, was like my nemesis. He also got it. He was an undead mage. And this is back when we used to fight Taramil versus South Shore all the time. So many good memories. What else? Okay, moving on slightly. Around this... On to the next stage, I had a shaman. I don't think I have the shaman anymore, but it's around that time where I sort of like played. Well, I played with Pracky a lot anyway during World of Warcraft, but we were sort of like basically playing this little thing. Oh, hello. I'll introduce that. Yeah, we did this thing. I don't know if you're familiar with pushing people. Well, actually mind controlling people and throwing them off the boats. I used to borrow Pracky's account and he would borrow mine, but I'd borrow his account a lot because he had the priest at the time and I didn't have a priest. And you can mind control people and throw them off the boat, which would really hinder them because they'd have to fly, they'd have to swim, which took forever because you move at about 50% movement speed all the way back to the shore, come back and wait for the next boat, which would take like 5 to 10 minutes, and then we might actually chuck you off the boat again if we're back there, because the boat goes back and forth. So we just stay on the boat, it transports us over to the next realm, then once we're there we transport back and then we chuck you off again. So I used to do a lot of that with Pracky on my shaman, and I used to just slow them down with frost shock and stuff like that and annoy them in the shaman and tank and heal whilst Pracky was mind controlling them, or vice versa. So this one's called Pracky's Care Control, and this is a little video I made in honor of Pracky. This is when I borrowed his account just to go and grief people, basically. I did a lot of griefing, and there's a little introduction for it, so I'll play this one up a bit.
In a world full of Care Bears, in a world where everyone gets on with each other, in a world where players' sole purpose is to raid for epics, and the very essence of ganking is but long gone and forgotten, stands one man, a man whose very being is to ruin other people's lives and grief people till they cancel their accounts. This man is Pracky.
So it's all about mind controlling and getting people to kill each other. This is at a low level stage. This was the higher level group, and he was basically helping these two lower level players, and as you can see, you can pretty much almost two-shot them. And all you could do when you mind controlled someone, was auto-attack them, and specifically jump them off a boat. So when you mind control people in Booty Bay as well, you get the aggro the guards, so you get them to attack the guards, and then the guards were really strong back then, really strong in comparison to you, and they basically one-shot you, or two-shot you. They kick your ass, basically. So this will be the same thing. I'll get them to attack the guards, and get them killed. And then the guards are probably aggro onto me, but I can just jump off into the water, which I did. And I got disconnected here, actually, because my computer and that is so bad at the time of recording that. Yeah, that sort of stuff happened. Oh, this was another bad troll that I did. This is another raid. I was a bit of a cunt, really. Yeah. These guys were trying to raid this boss, and we weren't doing a very good job. We just kept wiping and coming back, and I decided to aggro him and run away, and then it caused this huge issue where everyone was trying to work out what the hell was going on, basically. Like, how did this happen? And then everyone is just running, and I thought I might get away. I take the wrong corner, and I end up getting caught out by the boss that I aggro, after he's basically attacked him and killed everyone. Good times. This is pretty awesome. This is just mind controlling people. Like this guy, look at this guy right here. You can't see very clearly, but he is like at that time on that server, Homo Rush. It was actually called Homo Rush. He's like Grand Marshal. He's got all the gear, and this is, you know, you have like disproportionate gear levels between people in World of Warcraft. Like sometimes you get someone that's so geared they can just like one-shot a lower level character, or even the same level character, but they just aren't as geared. This is that kind of equivalent. Grand Marshal was like super geared, and the one way to defeat them if you didn't have that gear was to just simply mind control them off. I was too late to remove the actual mind control debuff, so he didn't get killed, but it did put him onto a lower level. And again, you didn't have flying back in these days, so you'd have to come all the way back up, so there's so much grief potential here. Now this is another one where this is a paladin, really kitted out, as you can see from raiding. And I'm trying to mind control him off, and he does a fantastic job. He stuns me at first, stops that, and this is back when my computer is so bad, you can see he's like lagging all over the freaking shop. I get the mind control, and he activates Divine Shield as I go to jump him off, which makes me chuck my character off. And this is back when the lava would basically two-shot you as well. I do like 600 damage per second or something like that. It's quite crazy. So just jumping people off into lava. And this is jumping people off into the boats. This is really good times. These are some of my favourite times in World of Warcraft with Bracky. Just griefing people. Like, people are like, what the hell's going on? And this is back, like, when you fall off the ocean here, you are fucked, because that is a long swim back. It takes you literally about 15 minutes just to swim back on auto swim, so you can't do anything. Look how far away you are. Look, you can't see anything. You're in the middle of the ocean practically just before you enter the next realm, so you have to swim all the way back and wait for the next boat. And these are people trying to raid and stuff like that. Such good times, just such pure grief. There's countless millions that I would have griefed back in the day. Like, they're just clueless. They're like, what is going on? Like, some of them are like, hang on a second, better start running away here. And some of them try to hide inside of here. Ain't gonna happen, mate.
We interrupt this program.
Yeah. This song is all about dying. Very heavily into hip-hop. There's so many! That's just so cruel back then. You can't even see like the text, it's so bad, like the recording back then was so old school. Oh yeah, there's shitloads to go through, which is why I think this is going to be kind of a long video, but I'm trying to be clear and content with how I'm basically doing things. So yeah, I had the rogue, I had the shaman, we did a lot of mind controlling and stuff like that, and then led on to the stage where I had the druid. This is in Wrath of the Lich King, and that Actually, no, that's skipping a bit ahead. Thinking about it, I should cover Burning Crusade. Thinking about it, yeah. So there's Burning Crusade. I had a mage, and he doesn't exist anymore. Back then, this is a long time ago. Like this is coming close to 10 years ago. You could actually sell accounts. You weren't supposed to, but people did, and they did it on eBay. And then Blizzard kind of cottoned onto that, and made it so that it's all DRM and all this kind of stuff. Like you can't basically trade an actual account, but you have to have all the details bound to your name and stuff like that. Anyway, you could give people's passwords and stuff like that so they can take the account and claim it for their own, that kind of thing. There's some weird loopholes. There isn't, well, loopholes. There's ways to get around it. You can't really do it now at all. So, yeah, you'd have to give them your entire Battle.net account to do it now. But back then you didn't have to have a Battle.net account, a link to it and all that kind of stuff. So, I've sold accounts previously in the past, and yeah, I think I sold my Rogue and that at the time, like the Gnome Rogue. It was like he was famous and all this kind of stuff. I didn't get that much for him at the time because people didn't quite appreciate that, I think. But there was Burning Crusade came out, and Pracky and I once again sped leveled, and I think it was like the first again to like level 60 on that server, 70 rather, and that was a undead mage. And me and Pracky basically played Arena. This is when Arena was brand spanking new, and we were like the top, basically, right up there at the top. We loved it, but it got real stressful because we were dealing with a lot of warlocks that would constantly dot. So this dot strategy was incredibly effective. Or this is back when Paladin Warrior or Warrior Warrior and the Paladin kind of bullshit, super strong as well in Arena. And yeah, I had the mage, did so much ganking. I don't know if I have a video of him ganking. I don't think I have a video of the mage, unfortunately for you. So I would show you if I had it. But I do actually. Yes, I kind of do. But this is, I think. No, this might be a different mage. No, that's a different mage, but it is around that. No, it's not. That's Cataclysm time. Anyway, yeah, the mage was kind of pretty well geared. Not like beautifully, epically geared, but very well geared, and he was the first with like the flying mount and stuff like that. I remember buying gold from a Chinese server. Don't ever do that, but I remember doing that. I was the first person to do that, and basically that server had no more gold. That Chinese gold selling site had no gold for the server, so I was basically the first and one of the only people for the first few days or so to get the epic mount because it cost 5,000 gold, which was a shit ton of gold then, basically. It was ridiculous. It was really hard to get 5,000 gold. So I had super epic flying mount, and I used to gank all the time. We did arena, it was very powerful. And then I decided to sell the mage, and I managed to sell the mage for a whopping 360 quid, something like that. It's ridiculous, basically, and this is back then as well, because someone really fucking wanted that head start, and it was quite the head start. And what I did is I then took that money, I spent like 100 quid or so, I think it was, maybe even a little bit less, on someone that was selling a warlock that they got to level 100. It wasn't particularly well geared or anything like that, but it was at 100, and this is, again, it takes a long time to level up to, not 100, it was 70, sorry. It was maximum level, 70 at the time, Burning Crusade. It takes a long time to level up and all of that. So I took that, geared it up, and then we started doing arena with the warlock, which is kind of where this character comes into mind. Is I really enjoyed the warlock a massive amount. Like, he was really fun. I did lots of raiding. I used to belong to a guild called Optimus, and there was another guild called Nemesis. This is back when it was kind of server on server sort of warfare, and PvE raiding was between your actual server and stuff like that, and it was the first to kill this and that. Kel'Thalas, best boss ever to raid, ever. There's never been a boss better than Kel'Thalas, in my opinion. But to be fair, I haven't done all that much raiding overall. But back when I did do it seriously hardcore and seriously, I was pretty damn good. I used to basically troll the people because I used to wear Molten Core gear from the previous expansion when everyone's wearing like the latest best gear from the Burning Crusade and still beat everyone on the DPS. I'm very hardcore, like, as you might know, sort of like I go well and truly into it. I take it very seriously. Competitive is a good way to put it. So this warlock had all this beautiful gear as well. And this is like the arena gear. This is like the gladiator gear. This is again me and Pracky going to arena. We basically dominate it and get all the best possible gear. Just looks awesome. When he jumps, he sometimes gets the wings and all that kind of stuff is amazing. So that's kind of the Burning Crusade. Yeah, did lots of raiding on that. like I say, I kicked complete and utter arse on the DPS and stuff like that. And when I did put on all my gear, it was just ridiculous. I'd have like shit tons of DPS. But I used to like raiding Molten Core gear just to basically, because I don't know, I just am an arsehole. But yeah. Anyway, then comes the Frozen Throne, as I like to call it, but it's really Wrath of the Lich King, which is the era of the Druid. And I think my Druid has been my favourite character overall, my entire World of Warcraft. Nothing was better than a Druid. But Blizzard fucked Druid over in the latest expansion, I think, or maybe the one before. I think it was the latest expansion, where they basically took away the charge. They dumbed down a lot of the hotkeys and amalgamated stuff together, and then it just didn't feel the same. I'm going to see what the next expansion feels like for Druid, but I doubt it. So most likely a Demon Hunter or a Rogue. But Druid was by far the best. Druid. I love Druid so much, and I played Druid to death basically from that point on, literally to death. Just every expansion onwards. I've played every other class as well, but I never played anything as seriously as I played Druid past that point. And we used to do some fun stuff. Judas, Pracky, and I, we used to go...
DJ Zippus.
Hang on a sec. It's hard to tell how loud that is. Yeah, we used to go into the capital cities of the Horde, because we were Alliance at the time, and kill their leaders and stuff like that, just a few of us. And it would take an eternity, 5.6 million health, and you can see how fast his damage is going down. We have about 1500 DPS, 7500. So you're going to be there a long time, and then you get people trying to screw you over as well at the same time. This whole video is just us just trying to kill them. We used to do little things like that as well. So
There it is.
that's a really old school video. And this is the same thing going into Lorframar in the Blood Elf City. Just good times, basically. I could tank this guy, actually, with the Druid Feral Form, because Pracky's healing was very good as well. Well, that's Judas actually healing, he's doing a good job. Pracky was kind of passively healing and damaging, because he's a Shadow Priest. So, good times killing all of that. Blimey, there's so much to really chat about in a sense, and I'm trying to go for it. I had this video, what happens when you pug. So yeah, this is the time when they introduced, I think, basically pugs. So people could just join up together and take on this. Actually, at the end of the Frozen Wrath of the Lich King, I think you had what is it called? Freaking Looking for Raid. But this is just slightly before Looking for Raid. But yeah, this is just me having fun in like a raid, and there's this arsehole or something like that kept stealing items. I can't remember the entire purpose of this video, but basically it was a video that covered like arseholes. Covered arseholes, really. That's a really nice way to put things. Here's a little cheeky video where showing off Arena. This is me basically having Pracky died, and this Death Knight's Paladin healer died, and I spent about 30 minutes in this arena. As you can see, we got to a point where we just kind of gave up, and then went back into it, where he couldn't kill me because Druid was so good at healing. Like, again, Druid was amazingly good fun to play. No matter what you were playing, whether it was DPS or healer, specifically healer for Battlegrounds, you just couldn't die. I mean, he got close to killing me a lot of times, but as long as I was just making sure I was doing the right thing and constantly healing myself, getting my mana back up, he was just constantly chasing me around, trying to kill me, and it was like 2.2 million healing done or something like that. Look at the healing though, it's just like absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it's good stuff that. That's the audio twip. Pirates of the Oh yeah, I forgot about Pirates of the Garen Caribbean.
Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You are a pirate. We got us a map to lead us to a hidden box that's all locked up with locks and buried deep away.
Very good. This is the mage. This is the mage I sold for 360 quid. It doesn't look all that impressive, but he was ridiculously strong.
You are a pirate.
Yeah, so that was just me basically trolling and ganking people. This is Burning Crusade, back to Burning Crusade again, just basically fucking people over and around the boats, sort of like abusing Ice Lance to basically one-shot gnomes and stuff like that. It's good stuff. I have a video here.
Hey, Willie here, going to be showing you a quick World of Warcraft battleground trick, and this is for the battleground Arathi Basin. It can also be used in Eye of the Storm.
Oh yeah, I played Hunter quite seriously. That was
Cataclysm,
Cataclysm, I guess, level 80. Oh, maybe that was Wrath of the Lich King.
And jump forward as you mount. Spam that, and you will eventually get out of the bubble or into that extra bit there. And yeah, with Eye of the Storm, you can't get very far, because as soon as you get too far away from the bubble, you just get teleported back in, basically, if you try to enter the battleground. But in Arathi Basin, as long as you jump off at the highest point and use Slow Fall if you're a mage, Levitate if you're a priest, Flex Weave Underlay if you're an engineer, so you apply that to your back, and that will give you a parachute ability, like slow. You can go and take the flags, but I just wanted to show off for this, basically. You can see this on other YouTube videos, but some of you may have not seen those, so for those who do like to see World of Warcraft videos and you check out my ones, you haven't seen it before, make sure that as you mount against an invisible wall, you jump forward as you mount.
So that's a little video showing off how to basically exploit, and this is good times. You could actually exploit back in vanilla in Warsong Gulch. If you kept jumping on the door in a very specific way, you could basically get over it and capture the enemy's flag just as they're basically getting out of the gates. And this was a very similar thing for Arathi Basin. You could capture the flag before the enemy had even got out of the, or rather capture the zones before the enemy had even got out of the starting posts. So this is all about exploiting. God, did I love to exploit. Oh, I actually think on that old school, no, that's not going to happen video. I don't think I might be able to find a bit. It's all about basically exploiting. I kept mixing it up between PvE and PvP stuff. It's bloody long. There was a little... That's actually kind of funny. There's a little gnome rogue called On as well. I don't know whether it's inspired. There's a guy on the enemy server, or rather the enemy side, called Easy Life, who was inspired by me. He said he was like a fan, and he became like the Grand Marshal equivalent of the Horde and all of that. And he was super kitted out. We had a little 1 versus 1. He kicked my ass. But that doesn't show it in this video. At least I'm not fortunate enough to find it. But there is a... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I used to do wall hacking and stuff, that kind of stuff. But it's not wall hacking as in I use like third-party program. This is just using your freaking passive skill, I guess, to just cleverly climb on walls over and over. So you have to position yourself perfectly, jump forward at the same time, and you kept doing that until you could kind of slowly get over cliffs, because that's back then when Blizzard didn't have a way to stop you from doing that. It wasn't easy to do, but Pracky and I also did that in Ultric Valley and basically just sort of like camped up the top and let everyone else fight it out whilst we just kind of went AFK, but kept moving our character once every 5 minutes so that we didn't get kicked out of the battleground. But yeah, there was ganking in Orgrimmar. This was an area that you couldn't get to. This was, well, Mount High Jewel. There's Archimond. So you weren't supposed to be in these areas. So this is back then when I was just like finding little places to exploit to. And again, just going back to Orgrimmar, just ganking away. It's good times. But yeah, that's that. Oh god, there's so fucking much. It's ridiculous. To be fair, it's like 10 years worth though, isn't it really? So I think it's Cataclysm.
Hey, this is Witty and this is Argoloth in Barrow.
This video looks really nice actually.
Have a bit of fun versus the old guy. See how he's doing.
This is just me on a mage, basically kicking ass.
Down, no
That was pretty damn good DPS as well at the time for that. It's just kind of showing it off.
This the time, so we'll just if you want to pause the video.
Yeah, 5 characters to 85. So
Witty is 3rd of September 2011. The time is
2011.
13:37, and I'm going to show you how to get 8 characters in World of Warcraft to level 85 in a couple of minutes. So what you want to do is you want to click on this guy here called Racer. He's a warrior apparently. And you want to wait until the screen has come up so you can actually do something. Yeah, we do love waiting. And you go like this, you're like, oh, hello there, how you doing? Oh, look, press number 2, maybe a bit of number 3, back to 1. Oh, look at this, bit of 4, bit of 3, Bit of 2, let's chuck in a 6. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die to this guy. He's so good. I'm tank. I can't even tank him. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? He's going down. He's going down. Oh, there's the level 85. So then you go log off. It's that easy. So now
That was me being slightly sarcastic, but I had all these characters. Each expansion, the point is, I guess, is that each expansion I leveled all the characters up. So that's kind of answering your question. So a lot of high-level ones. Pretty much every expansion, I just leveled them all up. Super addicted. There's also a stage where my account got hacked. This is slightly before that video, as you can see. Or maybe that was after that video. I think that was after that I made that video. Someone probably found a way to hack the account or something like that. So past that point, I made sure. I think I was getting. Yeah. Cataclysm. Yeah. So, blimey. That's when I started using an authenticator, and I suggest you do use one. Dragon Soul Raid.
More chalk fell. Then Warlord's son of
Aquila was our bloody guild. Thank you, Marcus, for that.
your Sarge, the unsleeping,
Terrible name.
believed he could stand against us.
So this is just us raiding, basically. This is me on the druid. Chuck the music out there. I forgot I like that track a lot. That's good old Deathwing.
What fucking happened again? Am I doing this wrong somehow?
It's way too far through.
You just said that fracky guy. Am I doing this wrong?
Don't take it.
What the hell? What fucking happened again? Am I doing this wrong somehow?
It's way too far.
Well, this is Deathwing. Down goes Deathy.
My mind's telling me no.
Right, you ready? Going in
This is for
5,
Judas.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Body's telling me yes, baby. I don't wanna hurt nobody, but there is something that I must confess. I don't see nothing wrong.
They go yellow.
With a little bump and grind. With a little bump and grind. Nothing wrong.
He likes to sing that song at times. There's some fucking R. Kelly shit going on there. Alright,
No, don't.
I'm quickly trying to.
there's more R. Kelly.
Now he's staring at me like as if.
There's a little guide
there.
on how to do love charms,
be able
but
to
that's
see a
nothing too
timer.
amazing. Oh, Traxian Heroic. This was quite difficult. Me and Judas had to tank this. I'm gonna get a lot of copyrights for this.
Grab your Glocks when you see Tupac. Motherfuckers, no one of you niggas got sickle cell or something. You fucking with me, nigga, you fuck around, have a seizure or a heart attack. You better back the fuck up before you get smacked the fuck up.
I like that video. He gets so aggro. What was this one? Oh, this is just Warlord Sanos and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was kind of around the time of Cataclysm. Did some raiding back then, a bit more PvE friendly and stuff like that. Again, I think a lot of Druid. Then we move on to Mr. Pandaria. I guess still playing a lot of Druid. I don't think I changed it up. I don't think I switched to Monk. I think I was still just doing Druid a hell of a lot. But back then, around that time, Mr. Pandaria, Marcus was one of these guys that went on a dating show. And he talked about World of Warcraft. You might have seen this on the channel. But he was the raiding guild leader.
Oh my.
These are just all clips. There he is.
Next up is 20-year-old Marcus. He's from Brighton. Oh, just look at that hair.
That is the hair of a champion right there. Strong, long, and full of product.
Greetings, gladiators. Welcome to my arena.
Right.
I'm really quite bad with nerves and stuff. But
He went viral with this video. He got quite popular on this one, didn't you, Marcus?
It's
Eh?
nice.
cheers.
It's River Island.
It's from River Island. I'm not allowed to say that.
It's nice.
Yeah, I like your dress. It's
Thank you.
kind of revealing.
Oh, poor chap. He's really got the nerves there.
Oh, come on. That's a deliberate move. The shy guy? Hugh Grant built his entire career on that strategy. Chicks go nuts for it.
I'm not sure chicks is the right word. I should...
You play? Oh, I World of Warcraft.
God, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
You play? Oh my god, what do you play as?
No way.
Oh my god.
God, it's mental.
What do you play? Oh, you proper excited me now.
Gnome Rogue.
Gnome Rogue?
Yeah.
I used to be a troll rogue and now I'm a blood elf priest.
Are you like 85?
Obviously.
Yeah. Do you raid?
Like,
Do you raid?
I go on the alt runs with my guild.
Oh, cool.
I ain't got time.
Yeah, I was actually, while I was at college, not to be, this sounds big-headed, but I was in one of the top guilds. Do you know Method?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in Method?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yes.
always been a rogue?
Yeah, no, actually, I played DK in Method.
What server were they on?
They were on Sylvanas, but now
Yeah.
they moved to Xavius because,
Oh, as if you were in Method?
yeah.
What the hell's that all about?
No idea.
That may have been the dweebiest conversation in the WSOD's proud 40-year history.
Yeah, it's very weird.
That's funny. Alright, yeah, and then past that point, I guess, just Mr. Pandaria, and then you got Warlords of Draenor. I guess Warlords of Draenor inspired the old, one man, 55 hours. Well, there it is. I think I made a little video about that, again, on the channel. But that was the time where I wanted to beat my previous record for when I was a bit younger, and I got 50 hours non-stop, but I never actually had any proof of it, and I couldn't quite remember I truly did it, so... This is where I basically played for 55 hours non-stop, although I did sleep at 54 hours, 37 minutes, so you could argue that was the case, but I had to get up and turn the PC on and get everything set up, so I was technically awake for longer than that. And I was also awake for even longer than that. I was awake for at least 55 hours at that point, and then... The irony is I actually went to sleep in the afternoon, but I didn't sleep. I spent fucking 6 to 7 odd hours lying in bed, not able to sleep. It was one of the worst things I've ever done. Honest to God, I never fucking slept one fucking wink. So I was already awake before that in the morning. So technically, I was awake for 68 hours. Yeah, so I don't think I have plans to do that again. But I do know that I beat my 50-hour record. There it is. Hello. So this is just me covering, I think, tinkering just to get it to work. I don't think I actually show much here. That's a shame. That's just me chatting about the 55 hours. So I don't know if I have a video of that specifically showing that off. I do, but I don't have that on tap. So I might be able to find that. Give me a second. Although, to be fair, if you're watching this already, I think you've got a few seconds. Don't know why I can't find the video. Oh yeah, from one man, 55 hours highlights, that will do it. 39 hours. So that's the timer going. That's one of my pets. So I've been awake for 41 hours here, at least.
He is a stubborn bird.
It's 13 hours on top of the 55 hours, if you want to be real specific as to how long I was awake. Although I was lying in bed with my eyes closed, but I never fucking fell asleep, so I don't feel like I fucking got any sleep or any rest. In fact, I think that made me worse. But yeah, that's either 41 hours, or you could be really strict and look at it for 55 hours. I try to get a picture of him and he just turns his back on me.
Used on my jams like Jerry Curls, jocking joints.
This is stuff like we're getting to 51 hours now of being on the computer as well. That's really bad.
Distraction
51 hours. I had to start bringing the glasses out because I couldn't fucking see. I started playing Warcraft 3, 53 hours.
And then late. That's kind of funny.
Still kicking ass.
Funny. Yeah, you can use your teleport, mate.
But I started to slur a lot. There we go. So.
Well, that's a bother, isn't it? But obviously he knew this would be available for harass.
I'm really sort of like falling to pieces at this point. You can tell I'm so ridiculously tired. Look at that.
Why he just did what he just did.
I'm barely able to do any of this and keep this up. You can see I'm almost trying to nod off there, but not quite. I'm just about keeping awake, just about. And there it is. That's when I nod off. 54 hours, 37 minutes. And that's the guy. That's the one. I think I truly fall asleep at that point. My body just forces me to sleep. Like I can't stay awake any longer. So I just AFK with like 12,000 gold. You can see that's how active I was. Yeah, that's me accidentally hitting the key just from being asleep. I had 12,000 gold. This is basically how well one would play if you basically fell asleep at this point. The unfortunate thing is by tapping that key it brought that over and then basically went over the timestamp. But this is me waking up a lot later on in the morning. This is where I sleepwalked because I don't remember that. I did not do that. That was me sleepwalking. I went over to my bed, must have taken my glasses off and just collapsed. So my body actually woke me up, made me walk over to my bed and then go to sleep again. And then that's me afterwards, once I've had another like few hours kip, coming back, going, holy shit, I think I just fell asleep, because I didn't realise.
Wow.
So it's 60 hours there.
I actually don't remember what happened.
I don't remember what happened, see, I even said it there. I just like, what the hell?
Got the game.
It's such a trippy feeling.
I didn't free.
So I'm just going over basically
Well,
the
just
old
collapsed on
footage.
the bed. But like I say, I still had my glasses on when I was getting up there, didn't I? So, and my glasses were sitting on the table in the middle. Like, they weren't like, you know, that or whatever. They were like that. So I've undone them.
It was bizarre.
I don't know how I'm going to chop and put this together on...
It's one of the weirdest things. I wouldn't suggest you try to do it. I'm glad I did do it though, because you get some weird high from being awake that long. Like, it's pretty close to being on drugs. I've never been on drugs, but I can only assume, because as you can see I was fucking well and truly out of it. So I'd basically doped up on some sort of chemical the brain is pumping out just to stop me from dying. So I guess that kind of covers pretty much your questions there. That covers all of the experience, and yeah, Druid was my favourite class overall, but I had so much fun on the Rogue, just ganking people in Orgrimmar all day, every day, and Pracky, just brilliant. I had a lot of fun just pushing people off boats, and those were super great times, and arena and stuff like that, and then early raiding back when it was genuinely, well, it is actually ridiculously hard at the moment, I think, if you play it on like the hardest level, but it's difficult for me to do that with the time schedules and stuff like that, and I'd have to find a guild that's dedicated to it, and then I'll have to be just as dedicated as that guild, and we could never really quite manage it again past that point. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you ever wanted to ask me basically what my time in World of Warcraft was like, I guess this video pretty much answers your question. So yeah, I've played World of Warcraft to the extent that probably most super addicted World of Warcraft players have ever played. Like, I can't even tell you the amount of game time I would have. It would be years. Actual years, probably. Like, I've played I've played since the alpha, and I've played every single expansion. I've never been as addicted to a game. I've never been enjoying or had so much fun or been into a game as much as World of Warcraft. It is, without doubt, the strongest drug I have ever been on, without doubt. It really has been. Basically my favourite game. I know that will surprise a lot of you, think, oh, Warcraft 3 isn't. Warcraft 3 is like on the same level as World of Warcraft, but in a different way. I've never been as addicted as everything, anything. It was proper druggy. It's like when I was at work, all I wanted to do was get out just so I can get back on World of Warcraft and play it for the entirety of the rest of the day. Because this is back when World of Warcraft was really fucking fun to play as well. All I wanted to do, there's always something to do. There's always some way to level up my character or build him up or do something. It's like, I was like, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. Okay, I'm going to get 4 hours sleep or whatever it is, get up, maybe log on to World of Warcraft, do a couple of bits, then go to work, then come home, then basically back on World of Warcraft all day. It's all I wanted to do, all day, every day. And I don't regret that. I fucking loved it. I really enjoyed my time. Those are days that I would almost love to get back in a weird way. They steal your life away, but it's like worth it. It's weird. It really is weird. It's just being so passionate and so just into something that beyond all belief is just an amazing feeling. So there you go, World of Warcraft. It's probably never gonna be that way again. It seems like a really sad, poignant tale to end on there, but I don't think I'll ever come across anything in the rest of my lifespan that will basically hook me the way World of Warcraft did. And if it does, then I'm probably not going to get out of it alive. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.